least I thought to do it before we started playing.
That's fair. Hello. Let's see, I'm coming in. Looks like I'm coming in okay. Let me turn myself up just a little bit. Everyone make some noise. That looks fine. We're very excited on this Monday. Big old weekend. Yesterday was beer, hot dogs, and fireworks day. I
don't know why.
I missed out on one of those things, unfortunately, but
Hot dogs?
beer.
Oh.
Oh.
And then
Speaking of beer, ooh.
But
the worst thing to make out. This is the worst thing to miss out on.
right? Otherwise, though, very fun weekend. Not many announcements outside of the ordinary stuff. We had the first date night this past Friday. It was super fun. We played a little tabletop RPG called Cats of Cthulhu. And it was a play on the Sherlock Holmes story, The Hound of Baskerville. The story was called The Hound of Whiskerville. And hopefully, I will have the time to write up a formal module for it and post it up on my Patreon, because that was so much fun to write up. And thank you to all my Discord folks who let their cats be used as ammunition for some NPCs or meow PCs. Yeah, shake your heads, all of you.
What linguistically would lead you to believe that was a good that's a good thing to do?
He's a writer, damn it.
NPC, let's change it to MPC, Meow Paw Cat.
I'm not sure that communicates the same information,
Cute.
but I like it.
Can I
like it.
ban Logan from his own stream?
Great question. You should try.
But it was loads of fun, and gonna be doing it again here, I believe on Friday the 13th.
Incredible.
I don't know who my guest is gonna be, but it's gonna have to be spooky. Even though we just did a spooky one, we'll see. Really, it's up to whoever I play with. On top of that, post on social media stuff more, so you'll be hearing from me a lot more. And because I had so much fun writing a new thing, there's a free druid subclass on my Patreon called Circle of the Microbe. It is a druidic circle based around microorganisms, bacteria, parasites, and the like.
It looks so cool.
Oh, yeah, I need to criticize it like I usually do.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
It looks so fucking cool.
It definitely needs some tweaks, and it could be on the verge of overpowered, but who knows?
Oh, perfect.
That's the fun part about it.
Power creep, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a a lot of fun to make. That's why I made it free for people to go look at. And I have a new adventure up on the DM's Guild called A Royal Ransom. It's a very classic story involving orcs, a kidnapped princess, and the princess locked in a tower, but with little twists here and there. Damn it, Austin, you can't second guess. So, yes, go check that out on the DM's Guild. And also, you'll see a little timer for it, as long as it's still working. In the chat, if you don't know what's going on in the campaign, you can do command !recap, and it'll tell you what happened last time. Which is going to lead us to our recap. I think the best person to do the recap today would be Carson. Because if we rewind time just a hair, everyone split up. Donovan and Oleg went to take care of business. Spike and Killian went to do their thing, and Cornelius and Varian went to meet with Rick in Greycastle, and give him a debrief of what has happened. Because after reading about Varian's near assassination in the newspaper, he confronted them and was like, "What the fuck are you kids doing?" So now it requires a bit of explaining. So Carson, if you would like to do the recap.
Okay, so turning back a little ways after attending Ithronel Adana's candidacy announcement kind of midday gala thing, where in a surprise is to pretty much everybody there, she gained the support of the reigning Boromar council member to run in her stead and take over the district, essentially. After that, we went to investigate some strange happenings we saw, I believe, through Cornelius's ghostly stare into the basement, where we found Xeno Boromar, kind of the Fredo of the Boromar family. Yeah, accurate. Running a betting ring involving betting on how long participants could be swallowed by this frog hemoth with acidic spit. We gained some knowledge through questioning there and ran into Karvak, who is she a gnome or a halfling?
Gnome.
A gnome woman and fighter who matches her determination with a decided lack of wits, and kind of gave up pretty immediately the fact that she was in cahoots with Ithronel Donna, and through some magical manipulation, yada yada, we found out she and her goons were going to ambush us.
Is magical manipulation code word for 3 fireballs?
Well, that came later. Yeah, we on the way out we ran into Rick and Greycastle, who is kind of aghast at this whole attack at the university thing, because we being busy investigators and also players who have a week between sessions, forgot to fill him in on everything going on. So we told him we would after dealing with the ambush. So we went. Found where this ambush was going down after a quick lunch, and found a conspicuous pile of gold pieces at the end of an alley, and then a big treasure chest at the other end, which we surmised pretty quick was illusory, with Karvak hiding behind it. Donovan mage-handed a little piece of paper with an instruction to open on it, and a glyph of warding that immediately exploded in her face, setting off some combat where we fought against her goons, and some hired Boromar or sharpshooters who rained fire on us from above, but we managed to scare her into calling off her guys. We particularly Captain Ironbeard intimidated Karvak into ending the hostilities. We interrogated her and struck a deal with her to seek further information. And at that point, we split up to go about our relative tasks. I have written down that Donovan went to talk to his boss about how his coworker Barb got some scoop that by all reasons she shouldn't have been able to know about Ithronel's candidacy, and published it in the morning paper the morning before the gala and the official announcement. And but Donovan's boss was elusive on the matter. And then Cornelius and I went to Rickon's place to fill him in on what was going on. I told Rickon pretty much everything because I didn't have any reason not to. And upon the mentioning of the moniker Death Knell, Rickon was struck with a mix of surprise and anger as he revealed that the anonymous source who outed him and ruined his career some centuries, I believe, ago, went by the moniker Death Knell, and it is on that cliffhanger that we ended this past week.
Good one, Carson. So, since Alan is not here, we cannot do the thing that we put off for this session. However, there is a different thing that will be happening in its stead.
Oh no.
Killian's dead. No.
Good.
So Captain Ironbeard and Killian, as you both are dropped off at Andith Tower for, I assume, what Killian didn't fully explain to you, Captain Ironbeard.
Mhm.
It just says, let's go do a thing.
Yeah.
Dropped off your walkthrough, and you end up in one of those very sterile sort of waiting room offices of Andith Tower. Except leaving, or coming through a door at the backside of this office where you see other, both knights and spies for the King's Citadel, and also just normal people who work for the King's Citadel. You see Dark Lantern Usid walk out from the door, her dark hair, and in her more like civilian clothes, not her normal dark armored self. And when she bumps into you both, she catches Killian, sighs, and you can see that she's a bit uneasy. But you get a sense that something important is going on, and so she tries to get Killian away to go speak with him privately. And Killian grabs a pamphlet from a nearby spinning rack and hands it to you. Says something about, it's starting soon, don't be late, and then is escorted away by Usid. And you look down at this pamphlet in this office of Andith Tower and see that it is a group therapy session for Warforged. What to do after the war.
I stand there just holding on this paper. I'm not moving at all. And I feel like internally there's like a huge struggle going on. And going through Spike's mind right now where he hears an old persona say, well, that don't sound like that bad of an idea. You should probably go for that one. But then he also hears the captain saying, no. Pirates do not go to therapy. They don't need that. We should get out of here. And then he hears his first persona. 5P1K3. We've been through a lot right now. You and I. It would be nice to have someone to talk to. But I'm not going to force you to do this. If you don't think that this is going to be beneficial, then we can simply carry on. What does Romulus say? Does Romulus say anything? As a fourth voice in his head.
He says, I feel like I've been here myself before. Met some nice people through it. Might be worthwhile, but who am I to say? I'm just a gun attached to your arm.
Oh, Romulus, you know that you're more than that to me. I mean, I don't like this idea. However, it seems as if I am outnumbered here. we'll go to this little therapy session. But I won't like it. Well, it appears that we have come to an agreement. Carry on. And he walks inside.
Okay. So you go in. We're not gonna role play through therapy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not any our
Let's say-
place to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So instead,
Fade to black.
fade to black. But instead, one person you do meet, sort of the coordinator of this, is someone who works for the King's Citadel, more of an office job. A Warforged individual, who has a metallic copper bow tie, right at the base of his neck, kind of glowing light blue eyes, a gentle-looking Warforged, named Jack. You can decide as we keep playing how Captain Ironbeard / Spike / 5P1K / Romulus are all affected by this, but you do notice as you're leaving the tower and going to get some kind of ride or walk down to Rickon's place to meet up with everyone else, you see Jack, satchel over his shoulder, walking down to some of the lower levels. Go ahead, Captain Ironbeard, and make me an insight check.
Alright. 17.
You think that Jack looks a bit nervous. He keeps kind of glancing over his shoulder every once in a while, looking a bit skittish, keeping his hands kind of close to himself. Something's off with him, but he keeps on walking.
You got a barnacle in your boot, Jack?
Whoa! Hey, hi there. Just Ironbeard, Captain?
Captain, aye.
Captain? So no, just eager to get home, that's all. Well, you take care. Great meeting you. And he shuffles off, keeps looking over his shoulder still.
As he shuffles, I'm gonna hobble and follow him and goes, wait a minute, wait, whoa, Jack, why are you in a hurry?
Just need to get home and feed my dog.
I didn't know you had a dog. What type of dog is it?
A metal one. Friend made it for me.
Metal dog. Can I insight check him? See if he's lying?
Make an insight check.
It's 15 plus 3, 18.
He doesn't have a dog. If it was a metal dog, probably doesn't eat.
Yeah, I'm like, What are you feeding your metal dog?
Oh, the usual nuts, bolts, screws, nails. A little bowl of oil.
Aye, Jack. If I were a lesser man, I'd say you'd be lying to me. But I'm not a lesser man. I'm the captain. You can't get lesser than me. Or you can't get higher than me. You can't get lesser than me. You're the lesser man in this situation. That's what I'm setting up here. Why are you lying to me?
Because I'm just I'm meeting someone. That's all.
You have a date with a pretty lass.
Yeah.
Oh! Well, why didn't you say so? Who is she? Go ahead, spill the beans. You can tell old Captain Ironbeard.
Not really any beans. Kind of a co-worker. Known them for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I should probably go. I don't want to be late.
That's all. That's all. A coworker. That's all you gotta say about them. I mean, if you're not excited about the date, Jack, don't go on it.
Well, I'm
That's just a waste of
excited.
time.
I'm nervous. It's in like a couple minutes, and you know that was a really tiresome session in there, and I'm a little nervous also speaking to people outside thing. But we can schedule our own little date. No, not a date. Coffee or sandwich.
Jack. You're a wonderful person. You have nothing to be nervous about. Look at you. You're almost as handsome as me. Now, go out there, enjoy your date with your co-worker, whoever they may be. And you're trying to be a little coy. I can understand. You're gonna keep things hush hush. Have fun. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
You have nothing to be nervous about.
And hopefully I'll see you next week. Huh?
Maybe. Depends on if you keep lying to me.
Great meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, Jack.
And he makes his way. Sigh of relief as he gets away from you, but then he kind of continues this sort of nervous walk and keeps going down.
As he keeps continuing his nervous walk, I'm a bounty hunter. I'm going to hunt this man.
I'm going to hunt this man.
I want to kind of just like take a step back in the shadows and kind of just follow him. Just like I want to tell him.
Okay. Now this will be kind of up to you what skill you use. If you want to stick to the shadows, that'll probably be stealth. If you want to kind of, sort of do a sit on a bench and newspaper it and blend in with crowds, it'll probably be a charisma check.
I'm gonna blend in. I feel like that's just fun. Why not?
So if you're proficient with deception, you can use deception.
Okay,
Or
sweet.
performance.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, that wasn't the massive roll. It's a 15.
15's good. So you tail and tail and tail. Jack keeps looking over his shoulder. Occasionally he glances in your direction. What is your guise? What are you doing to remain unseen in this crowd? Because you're a pretty notable looking person.
Yeah, pretty notable. I think Spike's go-to thing is always just like don a new costume. Like, hey, listen, everyone knows you as the pirate guy or the cowboy guy. Just rip that off, and then you're a brand new man. So he just takes that off, and then I think the easiest thing to do. We're in the middle of the city. I think the easiest thing to do is a tourist. He snags an I Heart Sharn T-shirt. It is just like walking around. It's like, wow, what a great city. Martha, have you seen this tower over here? This is a wonderful place.
This is Midwest persona.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you're able to go unseen until eventually let me actually double check where Andith Tower is. Middle Central. You go down just a few levels, still in the Middle Central district of Sharn, but you change neighborhoods. You end up in the Trade Fair ward, which is all sorts of businesses scattered everywhere. Much better than the ones you're used to. And they're all legal for the most part. Or at least you don't see anything illegal happening. And this is definitely the kind of area... it's kind of like that strip whenever you're on a road trip where there's like every fast food place, every, TJ Maxx, there's an Old Navy, there's everything here. That's kind of the district you're going into. So there's plenty of people out doing stuff, especially because it's getting closer to dinner time at this point. And you see Jack stop in kind of this, what seems to be excuse me, a sky coach platform, little loading bay. And he sits down on a bench, like satchel in his lap, crosses his hands, and kind of like looks around. And you see someone approach him. This 3-foot tall, fairly well covered, hood overhead individual walk over and sit down next to him. The only thing you can make out from this individual, besides them being short, is sort of this long, thin nose protruding from their hood.
Short, long, thin nose. Okay.
And a few moments pass. Jack looks down, sets the satchel to his side, checks what time it is, calls over to a sky coach driver, and you can kind of make out just like, oh yeah, can you take me to yada yada? And he stands up, leaving the satchel there, and goes over onto the sky coach, and that 3-foot short figure stands up with satchel in hand and starts to walk away.
Was this a drug deal?
It was some kind of trade-off, yeah.
Is my therapist a drug dealer? That's kind of dope.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, at the end of this group therapy session, he gave everyone drugs to cope with their PTSD and things like that. Just all of it.
The thing you gotta understand about microdosing is
Do I want to dive into this man's shady dealings, or do I let it be? Let me look at one thing. Give me 1 second.
What?
Shit. Okay. I want to see if there's something I can do to kind of cause this hooded figure's hood to fly off. And here's my idea.
Oh no. Are you gonna like Red Dead quick, like hit the hat, shoot the hat off his head kind of thing?
I was like, I could do that, and I could do that from a distance because I could shoot it from like 120 feet away. I could just snipe his hat off. Or I can use sickening radiance on him and cause him to just like violently puke, and possibly knocking that off, but I don't know. That also seems just a little much for this situation. So I'm like, or do you think I could just, would Mage Hand be able to just kind of like yank it, maybe? Or no?
Probably. If you get within the 30 feet for Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the most subtle. That's the better way. I don't want to actually kill this man with my Eldritch Blast. Yeah. I want to just kind of Mage Hand and be like, whoops.
All right, go ahead. Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay.
I like how in the subtitles it said, first time it said May Hand, and then now it said Mate Hand.
That's
Mate
something
Hand.
different.
Yeah, that's a 16.
You're able to slip the hood off of this figure's head and reveal green tinted skin, long pointed ears, completely cuffed and pierced down on either side, tattoos on the face slightly, curly hair, and a pair of goggles draped around the neck. And you recognize it, this goblin, from that banishment, where you went to this sort of neutral, meditative place. When that happens, though, quickly glances around, rips the hood back up, and darts away.
So it's Garm. Grim and my therapist know each other. That's a little too close. Now Spike is getting in his own head where he's just like, are they plotting something? Are they gonna kill me? Is killing part of this? Is he gonna kill me too?
Do you attempt to give chase, or do you let him be?
I'm gonna let him be, but I'm going to hold on to this thought and bring in the boys for this one.
Bring in the boys.
Yeah.
boys.
So through some means or another, you make it back to Lower Memphis, Rick and Greycastle's apartment. And now, Donovan, I sent you the letter that you pocketed, and Varian, I sent you the letter that Rickon showed you. And you all regroup at Rickon's apartment this time.
I would like to do something on the way there.
Sure.
Very quickly. I want to go by the store and buy some incense.
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Make it to Rickon's apartment, where he is getting dinner ready, getting drinks ready. And in the meantime, Varian, you have told him all the stuff, had this exchange, and everyone eventually arrives in time for some dinner and drinks. So, passed on to you.
Everybody, anybody find anything interesting?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Me too. You go first.
Does Donovan know Rickons? Does he even know him by Rickon Greycastle?
I think we've said yes by now, he would.
Okay, cool. The person all those years ago that outed Rickon and ruined his career. I produced the note. Death knell.
That can't be a coincidence, right? That's
It's a
interesting.
really particular name, and that's a nice word for it. Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence.
I stole. We're showing notes. I stole this note from my boss at work after I was trying to figure out why the stories got bumped, and the guy that owns the Sharn Inquisitive apparently got some correspondence. They were sent correspondence to my boss, whose name is Godfrey, apparently.
He didn't. That's your boss's name, or
Is that my boss's name? Is my boss's name Godfrey?
Yeah, the senior editor.
Yeah. So,
Is that-
I like how you said
news to
apparently.
you?
Like
yeah.
I mean, we never established his name.
We did. You just don't
so
write things
Jacob
down.
was saying apparently. Cool.
I don't remember you referred to him as such while we were talking, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. I'd forget things. So apparently the person who owns the Sharn Inquisitive got this story somehow, and essentially said, "Put your best rider on it," and so I guess they asked Barb to do it, and
Sorry.
the correspondence, that doesn't hurt my feelings. They can be wrong.
Okay. That's how we're choosing to approach this.
I think that's
But
probably they probably picked her on purpose, like, because I probably would have asked too many questions.
Okay. But it came from the top.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It was what he
not
said because
your-
he didn't want to.
your
When I
favorite.
talked to him, he didn't want to tell me why You didn't want to tell me anything about it.
So it started from the top, and now we're here.
That's
Yes.
yes.
I don't know
Uh,
what that would pertain to in any other context,
But
but that's
essentially,
an accurate summation of
They got paid.
information.
Both of the writer and my editor Godfrey got paid because of the changes, and they probably already destroyed the portfolio of information about the correspondence, but they did not. The informant for the information wanted them to destroy this letter and all the information, but I swiped this letter, and the letter was sent from Hoftak Irklarn, owner of Half-Tax Books and Binding. Is that the same person? Is that the same shop that we were gonna go to anyway? Because didn't the lady that we got the information from, Ithronel's friend, the gnome, his name escapes me.
Peanut Button?
No,
Or
the person
Karvak?
that, yes,
Karvak? Yeah.
because she said something about someone who owned a bookstore or some kind
A
of store,
magic
right?
shop.
Not to
Okay.
get too deep in this, just to make sure this isn't something Ithronel does. Is that Ithronel backwards, or am I just like that name sounds very, very dumb as well?
No,
Okay, just making sure.
no.
Okay, carry on.
It's Oleg's contribution. Is that Ithronel's name backwards?
Ithronel backwards is the Norhiti. So if that pops up anywhere, we'll
It
bet.
sounds like something I should do.
Stored
I'm
away.
just
Uh,
sorry,
great.
continue.
Where was the magic shop that she mentioned?
In a
What
district
part of the
called
city was
the
it?
Mystic Market.
Mystic Market.
Do I know where Half-Tax Books and Binding is?
Yes, it is in the same. It's in the University District as well, where Morgrave is, and where the Sharn Inquisitive is.
Okay.
Also, where the printing for the newspaper happens as well.
Okay.
Okay, is Rickon like still running around? Or is he like approaching to enter the conversation at any point?
He'll eventually, once he gets all the food and stuff prepped, he'll come and sit down and greet and chat with everyone.
Okay. Well, now that we've all shared documents, could we get them posted? Like in the general, so we can all analyze them.
I can do that
Awesome.
real quick here.
Okay.
That one
Because
and-
okay, this magic shop sounds like a good lead. I've been going over the letter Death Knell sent to Rickon, and I'm not sure if it'll go anywhere, but there seems to be some allusions to certain things. Like in here, she says, you've gotten too close too many times, whether you realize it or not, your skills surpass even the darkest lanterns who seemed blind compared to you. That seems to be a pretty direct reference to the lanterns of the King's Citadel, and perhaps something they were investigating at the time, that Rickon got closer than them. And then it says, a friend of mine is publishing your sordid relationship as you read this. Whoever published it has some sort of relationship, some sort of connection to Death Knell, as it would be.
How long has it been since Rickon's
fall.
These are fair, yeah. The fall.
Uh,
The fall of Rickon.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Logan, I believe around 300 years. So it's been a little while. Which
Has the Sharn Inquisitive existed that long?
Make a history check.
remind me, the last war ended like 5 years ago. How long had it been raging?
About 400 years.
Okay, so this was like 100 years into the
Yeah.
war.
21.
21.
21.
So the Sharn Inquisitive has been around since before the war. And it kind of had a smaller stint as more just like a locally small published rag. But then, of course, as the last war started, it kind of grew into a much bigger outfit.
Does Rickon have the article
He...
from like
Yes.
when that happened?
And he also can speak on what he was investigating at that time as well.
Yes,
Um,
both are important.
Yes, please.
Yes. So first thing is he'll run and go get that article. And it's definitely one of those terrible magazines in the checkout aisle. It was like the National Enquirer or something that has those shitty headlines on the front.
Rickon Greycastle having sex.
Sordid affair.
Exactly. That's definitely the tone of the article, and of course, the journalism in Sharn has changed a lot since it was published.
One would hope.
Yeah. There's a sketch of Rickon. He has an afro
Yeah.
and mutton chop.
Yeah, the
mustache.
tabloids are way worse now.
So, reading through it, it's just a shitty article, but it outlines, it paints Rickon as a villain, essentially, even though he's, supposed to be this good guy. He's, canoodling with the Boromar clan. How can we trust him? How can we trust him to save us? What?
Who wrote it?
You check on who wrote it. Well, first off, that way I can go give you the information. Make a history check for me to see if you know who it is.
27.
You do know, the name is, Brontor G. Wake, but you also know that was a pen name. But you don't know who was behind the pen name that long ago.
Is there anyone in our group who's been alive that long?
300 years?
Yeah. I mean, Cornelius is Kalashtar. I don't know how long they live.
I've only been in Sharn for like 10 years anyway, so it
Okay.
doesn't matter.
I mean, how old is Oleg?
He's, I think, at the younger side of. I actually wrote it down. It's 63. He is at the spry age of 63.
Okay. And I'm assuming neither Donovan nor Spike are 300 plus years old.
No.
Okay.
Let me check something real quick.
What was the pen name again?
Brontor G. Wake.
Cool. Can Varian surmise if Brontor G. Wake is in any way like an anagram? Because Carson
I
does
was
not
just
want to
thinking
spend
that, yeah.
40 minutes sussing that out.
You take a few minutes, kind of go separating out the letters, get a better look at them, but it doesn't seem to be an anagram for anything.
Okay.
And I'll say, it's a pen name. It's not the person's real name, but that's so long ago. I don't know. Maybe Varian, have you heard of this name?
Is it a reference to something? Like somebody or something within Sharn's history?
Yeah, Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the acclaimed half-orc writer James Joyce.
I mean, Carson, if you want to try to do a history check, I can give you some inspiration. Maybe you would know. Maybe you've heard of something like that.
I can also.
Your family's important. Yeah, both of you. Your families are important. Maybe you know people.
If Logan will allow it, I'll make a history check.
yes. Go ahead and make a history.
Inspired.
All right. Well, that
Make a D10.
A D10. Damn. All right. Well, that was already a pretty good roll on the die. That's a +2. All right. So, 28.
Hit him with that. Hit him with the flash of genius just for
I
the
think
lulz.
he's used them all, right, Oleg?
I've used a number of them. Let me see. Actually,
Hey,
I
I
have
thought you
one
used
more,
them.
but I'm most certainly not going to use it on this.
Oh, damn. It was a
The
DC,
DC was 30, Travis. The DC was 30.
If it's a DC 30, I can definitely use it, but no,
As a
I'm
joke.
not doing that. Yeah.
It probably is actually, but it's all right.
So, in your history studies, Varian, you recall that the name Brontor belonged to one of the advisors for the king during the last war. Specifically, a war advisor.
Do I know this person to still be alive?
They are not. They were
Okay.
human, so they died a long time ago.
Okay, so in all likelihood, it's probably just like a reference.
Possibly.
Huh. Well, I will mention that to the others and see if that sparks off any ideas or memories. Cornelius, Spike, Captain Ironbeard, sorry.
Captain Ironbeard. You're familiar with the name Brontor because
Brontor? Okay.
many people hated him. They vilified him because of his push for war. And to the point where, like, people were calling for his head and calling for a new advisor, someone that will get people out of the war, not make it worse.
Aye. Brontor's dirtier than the scum of my boot. If I could spit, I could. Actually, he looks around for a glass of water, swigs it around, and spits on the ground.
I feel like since you don't have, like, lip muscles, it just kind of...
Trickles down.
Spitting
It's
on
okay.
Rickon's
It's
carpet.
okay. I will. I'll install a little spits module for you for the future.
Spin module! It's just a sprayer!
A pirate needs to spit.
It's really. Can I please make a weapon that's basically that King Cobra spit, like 9 feet?
Oh, I was thinking of
Acid spray.
Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh.
Water jet.
Actually, that's a sick idea. Create a magical item for Magic Spray, acid spray that just sits in a Warforged mouth.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, sorry, go ahead,
It's-
continue.
Shout out to the Raleigh Cobra.
Yeah.
Rickon though, trying to lay out some of the stuff from old documents from when he was doing his own investigating on stuff. The documents, articles, his own notes, everything he lays out, you see some similarities. So this all occurred about a little less than a century after the last war started. And, at this point, it wasn't even halfway done. And so everyone was getting upset and despairing, and things were not good in these sort of middle 2 centuries. And in Sharn, there was a string of assassinations that kept occurring of any of the king's people that would come to the city. And eventually, it reached the point where there was so much civil unrest in the city that it sort of went on lockdown for a while, or at the very least, no more officials for the king would come here because everyone was so worried for their lives. All because they were unhappy with the war and unhappy with this Frontor fellow. Rickon was investigating it, trying to figure out who was doing this. And that's where it stopped, was at his career being ruined at the century mark.
Okay, and just for clarification, does the King of Breland reside in Sharn?
No, the King of Breland has a kingdom, or their headquarters in the city of Rote.
Okay.
Which is also where the Madani's guild is.
Oh, okay.
That's sort of the capital city, even though Sharn is most definitely a big part of life in Breland.
It's like Sharn is Charlotte and Road is Raleigh.
I was thinking of New York and Albany, but
I mean, that's probably a better.
That's probably a better one, yeah.
Fair point.
not a bad one. Not a bad one.
Why wouldn't the capital of a state be the thing that is named after? It feels a little. Never mind. Continue forward.
No, what? What are you gonna say?
Nothing. Never mind.
He's trying to argue for New York City being the capital of New York.
Yeah.
I think is where he's going with that.
It feels very apt. I don't know. New York. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a band having their self-named album like the 3 or 4 times in. Sorry, continue forward.
No, this is good discourse. Good discourse.
So, Ithronel is an elf, correct?
Yes.
Half elf? Or is she full elf?
She was full elf.
Okay.
I think
Okay,
I let
so
slip.
she-
I accidentally said half elf once, and it has completely stained everyone's idea of who she is.
So she's full elf. So she would have definitely been alive back then, or she could have.
Very possible.
But, to that same extent, you all have met her and been around her. You would probably clock her at being about 300 years old, about 30 human years. So for her to be 300 now and to have also been alive 300
Yeah.
years ago to do all those things, that would put her in being fucking ancient.
A possibility we also can consider is
Maybe it's
maybe she's like a copycat kind of killer for whatever was happening back then, or maybe whoever was doing it back then was like a parent, a
Family
parental figure. Yeah.
Oh, that could be something that was passed down.
Yeah.
Rickon, what came of the assassinations 300 years ago? Was there
They just stopped.
Was there? Yeah, did they stop? Was there a pattern to them? Was there some sort of ascension politically of some faction or person in their wake?
Well, those kind of people turned over fairly quickly during the war. They needed people to take that place ASAP, or else it would all seem weak, or people would be afraid that someone would take over immediately. But it wasn't really any kind of major event like that, but a lot of the unrest was somewhat justified. There weren't any huge riots like that, or at least none that leveled the city, like the original Tarkanan Wars and the Aberrant Wars, things like that, but they were still serious, and there was really not too much to be done, because at that point, that was whenever a lot of people were getting taken off and drafted into the war, and so there weren't nearly as many Sharn Watch officers and King Citadel Knights to maintain order around here.
So it was a turbulent time, obviously, and nobody clearly gained from these assassinations.
It all stopped by the time that, well, I was stopped. I assume I spooked them a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know for certain.
Don't take this too seriously, I suppose, but could there be some sort of, like, ritual purpose to these killings beyond simple political ascension? I mean, if they're happening 300 years apart, I mean, I suppose there's a chance something like this has happened in the interim, but I mean...
Nothing this big.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything policy-wise that's happening in the government right now that we just haven't thought of? Because let's think about it. The last time this happened, it was about, a particular official pushing for war, the war, unrest with the war, things like that. A major event. It stopped when they might have gotten spooked, what have you. Or maybe they accomplished what they felt like they had to accomplish. Is there something large happening right now that we just haven't thought of? Is there some major policy change? Is there some major event coming up? Something big that might attract this kind of attention, because if it is some kind of ritual thing, maybe it is based around large scale social issue, if that makes sense.
No, that's definitely a possibility. Is there anything we would know about?
Oh, what is there?
There's one about to. I mean, if she gets her seat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing, is you don't know of anything huge that's like happening, and most of the holidays that happen like aren't huge, and even sort of the big ones are she's already done, like the Tane Gala, which is where all one of the 60 families host this prestigious, the party of all parties once a month. And you recall Ithronel was on the guest list a couple months ago. First, Rickon speculates, talking about big events. He mentions that his idea of why these first killings were happening were because of the war. He thought that was kind of his motive, and his idea was that whoever was doing it had some stake in the war, or they had a loved one go to war, or maybe they were just trying to misuse this time of turmoil for, a sick satisfaction. But he kind of found that part to be unlikely. He imagined some kind of emotional or physical stake in the war. But a couple of the major holidays that will be coming up in the next couple months. This is important for you, Varian, or one of these is. Graduation. Because you're in your second semester of your second year of grad school, right?
Sure.
That's what I thought you had said a while back. Maybe not.
No, we get yeah, sure. Second semester or second year of grad school.
Sure. 2
Near-
months from now.
Yep. Nearing on
Graduation.
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 Well, is it? What's the standard in Sharn? Is it like 2 years for masters, then you launch into your doctorate? What are we dealing with?
Yeah, we'll do it that way because that's the most familiar way.
Sure.
But that's still 2 months from now. Between now and then, there's another Tane Gala at the beginning of the month. There's some big sporting events over the next few months. But really, there's nothing huge happening, at least in the next, 3 to 5 months.
No, like, big ballot initiatives.
With that, anyone can do this. You can go and make a history check for me.
17.
31.
19.
I rolled a 19.
14.
Dirty 20.
So 31. Yeah, 31.
Okay. Varied, what'd you get?
17.
Okay. From what you can recall, you don't see any major changes, or have heard about any major changes to the politics of Sharn. There is going to be a little bit of movement as far as some of the refugee areas and some of the districts that were harmed by the war and things like that. It's sort of that kind of cleanup stuff happening. But as far as huge changes, nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
So, we should go talk to Ithronel's friend, right?
Callback?
No, the one that owns the magic shop.
Oh. Yes.
Sure. I mean, truly at this point, it's starting to get to the point I don't really know. As time goes on, I just want to kill her, but it's becoming less like we're gonna catch her in something. I don't know.
Well, let's go see what this magic shop is about.
I look over at Oleg and just give him a wink. Well, I have one eye already closed, so it's do that. Sheena.
Do you have something in your eye?
No.
He was just blinking. I don't. We have no idea what's in that other eye.
I'm not sure they would let me walk at graduation from prison, so let's put that on the back burner, if we don't mind.
We don't have to get caught.
Frightening. Let's go to the magic shop.
Well,
We got
that's
away
right.
with like 5 murders. I don't think we can get away with one. Just blame the house killer.
Let's go to the magic shop.
Murders
Okay.
somebody, blames it on themselves.
Yeah.
While we're
She
on
clearly
the,
cast fireball on herself. It was self-inflicted.
what time is it at this point?
By the time you eat, drink, and kind of go over some stuff, probably about 6 o'clock.
Okay. While we're doing that, can I cast a legend lore and do it on just the term death knell?
Sure. Absolutely. I don't remember if there's a check or anything for legend. I think you just do it.
Yeah, you just do it.
Do it. You go use Rickon's ritual room in his library. Do it. So doing a bit of legend lore on Death Knell, especially with having some of the documents that Rickon has produced nearby. You recall able to pull from the ether a number of bits of information about the alias Death Knell. It has been around since, as Rickon has explained, and there have been many people who have both feared this name or this entity, and also people who have admired this entity, especially during the last war. It has been written about a lot, and almost became this figurehead for rebellion, this figurehead for turnover, of clearing and taking over things, doing things your way. Also sort of a chaotic figurehead in the same way. Because it did cause a bit of effectively kind of purge-like behaviors in certain parts of the city. Trying to think if there's anything else. Okay. As far as anything current, besides your interaction with this, with the name, there hasn't been anything current written about it, but it has popped up here and there in the past couple of centuries, not just during Rickon's time, in the past few centuries. A few people have written articles or spread rumors about, you know, if there was someone turned up dead, someone of importance turned up dead, they're like, oh, maybe it's Death Knell again. But until recently, it's all kind of faded away, and this time it's not Death Knell, it's the House Killer. But still all the same kind of patterns. Something that would probably be not widely known is that in Rickon's time, so 300 years ago, Death Knell did not have any affiliations or any want to be a part of any of the criminal organizations. It was all sort of done either solo or with, you know, close trusted people. And that was something that Rickon never really uncovered, or never really uncovered who the any kind of connections were.
So definitely different person. Interesting. All right, I would share that information before we leave. Let's go see a magic shop, huh?
Okay. Any final things before we move on to the next scene?
I guess we let Rickon know what we're doing, but seems about it.
Okay. Then here's what we'll do. We'll take a quick bathroom break before we jump to the next thing, and then we'll get back to it. So we'll be right back in a couple minutes.
All right, gamers.
All right. Oh boy. So, I assume you're taking Oleg's Sky Coach.
I just thought we'd walk. You know, be fun.
Let your feet touch the ground for once.
No, I'm just
Disgusting.
kidding. Exercising is lame.
That's where peasants walk.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you agree.
Jesus Christ.
So
A
you're
plebeian means of transport.
so you are heading over to a little neighborhood called the Mystic Market. It is over in Upper Dura in the Clifftop district. All sorts of varieties of magic can be found here. All sorts of mage rights work here, have a little shop set up. People who make those little, novelty magical wands and things like that can be found here, but also on occasion you can find stuff that's a little more rare and more finer quality. And you don't know exactly the place that you are searching for. You just know that it was in Mystic Market and the sign had whiskers at either end like a cat. If I could get each of you to roll your choice, an investigation check, a perception check, or a some kind of charisma check, so persuasion or deception or intimidation, your choice.
24 in investigation.
Five.
Got a 21. What perception?
25 investigation.
A 30 persuasion.
16 persuasion. I rolled a lovely 4.
Oh,
A lovely
We
4.
love to see it.
I don't.
Honest, I like that.
So you walk around the Mystic Market for about 10 to 15 minutes. Austin, you will be my victim for this. Roll a d100 for me.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh boy. 16. Yeah.
yeah.
I had to make sure I was reading that right.
You glance over as you're wandering the streets of Mystic Market, and you see this sort of like a patio or like a garden that is jutting out off the sidewalk. Little sitting area, you see some tables, plenty of plants. You're in the upper city. It's beautiful and gorgeous. And you see two people, one with fairly pale looking skin, grayish silver long hair and a thin mustache, sitting across from a woman with a short haircut and these like piercing semi-slanted eyes, and they're playing a game of chess at this beautiful marble chess table set up in this little garden. And you notice two things happening. The chess pieces are moving, and they're not. They're not touching the chess pieces as they lift up and lift over. And you glance over and see sort of these ghostly images of people on behind each one of them, hands on the shoulder, looking over at the chess table. and you and then look back really quick, and they're gone. But the chess pieces still float delicately and land where they're supposed to.
Were the images like just leaning over them, or were the images moving?
They were moving. They're sort of pointing at some of the pieces, and then the piece would move.
Hey, did anybody else see that?
Everyone, you do see chessboard, two people sitting there, chess pieces moving.
Yes. It's magic with the bullets.
Not
Chessboard.
not the self-moving chess pieces. Did anybody see the weird like specter like ghosts standing around those people?
Nope.
Sorry,
Feeling
dude.
okay?
I feel pretty normal, but we know how that goes.
I mean, we live in a world where ghosts are definitely real, but also you don't usually see them out for chess. I do love the idea they were all like, ghosts? Are you fucking nuts? Ghosts don't exist.
To the person who can look through
Yeah.
walls and speak through people's minds and mind control people.
My owl is from the Feywild,
Has a
and I
literal
can
small
change him
demon.
into any shape I want, but ghosts?
Ghosts?
I have a small demon I can summon whenever I want, and it's just like, oh yeah, no ghosts. That's where we draw the line.
It's like in the What We Do in the Shadows. They're all vampires. They've met werewolves and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, there's a ghost in the house," and they're like, "Don't be ridiculous."
Okay. So the ghosts playing. Let's cool. Let's go inside. Produce some more.
Sorry, Austin's brain's a little broken right now.
Make an insight check for me.
Sure. Instruction. I can follow instructions.
The real life ghost over there is poking Austin's brain.
21 insight.
These are two Kalishtar sitting and playing chess together.
Oh, so okay, got it. And I just kind of like take a look at the people again and look at everybody else and just, you know what? It's not the weirdest thing I've seen. Let's keep going. And I'm just gonna file that way in the back of my mind. The faces of the people I saw sitting there.
Sure. Okay. So, the five of you continue your way through the Mystic Market, and then finally, turning a corner, it's maybe 7 o'clock by the time this happens. Businesses aren't shut down yet. There's maybe another hour before everyone starts closing shop for the evening. But you look around, and you see a shop, storefront, where the sign kind of has whiskers on either side. But it's fashioned in such a way that it's like a mustache, and then two squinted, like, closed eyes, bushy eyebrows, and then a grin underneath. This is big, whiskered, smiling face. And the name of the shop is the Jolly Crown.
You think that's it?
It would appear to be.
All right, what's the move?
Okay. Remind me of the context behind this again. Did Karvak tell us about this place?
Yes, Karvak said that she was hired to watch this place for like 2 or 3 years.
Hired to watch this place for 2 or 3 years by Ithronel Adana?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, watch like protect or watch like observe?
Both.
Okay.
Perhaps we go in. One of you charismatic types can keep the owner of the shopkeep involved, and the rest of us can use whatever tools of mind or magic to suss out what we can.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, so who's going to be the speaking group, and who's going to be the watching eavesdropping group?
I will be the I will be in the speaking group.
Anyone going to help?
I'll also join the speaking group.
You can use
You
your
sure,
you can
Travis?
use your you can use your ghostly gaze while you're speaking.
Yeah.
Not this character. This character's not gonna do shit. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, so then Varian, Captain Ironbeard, Oleg, you're going to eavesdrop,
Mm-hmm.
lurk
Mhm.
around the shop. Rad. Okay, so you all enter in. I assume kind of staggering entrances so as not to seem suspicious. You walk in, and it is definitely a magical trinket shop. There's all varieties of little magical mischief items. You see that there's like face masks and little wands with all sorts of ornaments on them. You even see some full pieces of clothing. You see pieces of jewelry. And reading some of the signage on these things, you see some that say like perfect for kids, or a great gift to spook your friend with, and all these, they're just gag gifts almost. And then you see in sort of a glass case up at one end where the counter is, there's some nicer stuff in there. Like a what seems to be a beautiful ornamental fan, some good solid bits of jewelry made out of actual gold and silver, and a sort of rack of wands going through it. Behind the counter, you see a half-elven woman, slightly pointed ears, slightly tanned skin, like sun tanned, like recently been out in the sun and tanned. Dark, beautiful dark hair, and all in all, a very beautiful woman.
Does it match the description that Korvac said?
Vaguely, you were told a beautiful woman with dark hair. And I believe she had said somewhat fair skin. This person doesn't necessarily have fair skin, but maybe in more of the winter, possibly. But she herself is also wearing like these big round glasses, all sorts of rings across her fingers, a scarf, all like sort of showcasing some of the things that she has. So you imagine each one of those things does something absolutely silly. She says, welcome. Is there anything I can help any of you all with? I'm just doing some of my closing duties before I have to head out for the night.
Oh yeah, my friend and I here, pointing to Cornelius. We're just looking for a fun gift or something for my kid.
Oh, how old is your child?
12.
23.
I like to imagine you deadpan that.
Yeah.
What do they like? What are they interested? What do they find funny and entertaining?
They like to play little pranks. You know how kids are. I just want something harmless that they can do. They can get their jollies without causing Dad too many headaches. You know what I mean?
I understand. Well, she starts walking around the shop a little bit. She passes by some of you who are eavesdropping and kind of give you a nod. Says, I'll be with you in just a minute. I'll help another customer. If you need help, just let me know, though. Points at one spot. She says, so this is a pocket watch that squirts water whenever you open it. Here's a wristband that turns into a full sleeve. Here, here are some socks that won't stay up. People love that one. People hate that one. It's one of my favorites. Oh, and
Can I
here
ask a question? Well, this is all great.
she
how
holds
long
up
is
a
the shop?
second pair of socks that's like dripping wet.
How
Oh, that's good.
I hate that.
Yeah,
How
me
long's the
too.
shop been here? I've been around before, but I don't think I've ever seen this shop.
Oh, a couple decades now. Ever since parents passed away and been running the show.
Oh, family business?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long has it always been this kind of magic shop? Your parents just in the magic business?
Well, we get in some more unique, more specialized. Is kind of what we have over here in case you're interested. But for the most part, we like doing the gag gifts and things. We kind of let some of the bigger organizations and bigger shops worry about all that stuff. Plus, we're not really the ones to, try to sell something for 30,000 gold pieces. Who never understand it. I like,
I feel you.
something that costs a gold piece, a little bit of magic in your hands. It's, much more, much
You
better.
you don't have any siblings or anything? You're running this place all by yourself?
All by myself.
It's a pretty big place to run by yourself. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Of course, you said you had some other stuff too. Looking for something for his kid. But I'm a practically minded man. You got anything that's like less jokey, a little more practical, floating around too?
Well, it's just something my dad made and sold to a lot of the Sky Coach drivers. It's a set of rings that she holds up, like these two very unassuming kind of just bronze rings. It says, you put them on, all you gotta do is click them together and they turn into a pair of nice leather gloves. Sky Coach drivers really liked it because in that way they don't have to try and take off their gloves all the time to drive. They just, whoop, there it is.
How much is that?
These 25 gold.
Oh, I think I'll buy a pair of those. I got a friend
And
who always is
what-
driving us around. He'd probably appreciate it.
What part of the store are we in currently?
We'll say, we'll divide it up into practical side of the store, gag side of the store, and then we'll say the front side of the store where the nicer stuff is. So
I guess more. I guess to be more specific, are we closer to the front right now? Or are we closer to the back right now?
probably closer to the back.
Interesting.
I don't think I caught your name. What's your name?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You just call me Rosaline.
I forgot to pull out my stuff. Don't mind me.
Well, Rosalind, your shop is lovely. I actually work for the paper. I'd love to write an article about it. Maybe it'll help boost business. We love our family-owned businesses. Important.
That would be wonderful.
I mean, I could do a short little interview right now if you don't mind.
How short? I've still got to get some of my stuff ready to close up.
5 minutes.
Make a persuasion check.
24.
Yeah, let me check on all their customers real fast, and yeah, sure, just meet you up at the counter. She turns
Take
back
your
to you,
time.
Cornelius. Says, so is there anything else you want to look at? Any other kind of practical gifts?
If you got, I don't want to take too much of your time. If you got something else like right on hand that you want to show, then I'm more than happy to look at it. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time, especially since you're getting close to closing.
Well, is there anything that interests you? Anything you're itching for? You've been really wanting a new hat lately, or a new piercing, or something.
On second thought, I might just come back another time. I'd have to think about it. It's just
Gotta get your wish list ready.
gotta get my wish list ready. I gotta think a little more about stuff that might help me with my job and things like that. But that's gonna take some time. I'll probably come back tomorrow or another day this week.
Well, sounds good. Hope to see you.
And before they even, I know that we were in the shop listening.
Mhm.
I'll just grumble thank you and walk out.
Oh,
Thank you.
and you walk out. Oh, you're muted, Carson, I think. You were.
Yeah, while Rosaline is attending to Cornelius and Donovan, I will step away through the aisles and use a dragon mark casting of see invisibility.
Okay.
See if there's anything hiding around the corners in this joke shop.
You see that there is what you originally saw as an empty box is full of rings. Quickly reading the label, it is a box of invisible rings.
Not rings of invisibility.
It's invisible
rings.
Incredible.
That's awesome.
That's legitimately really fucking funny. Love to see it.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary as you're pacing the aisles. You glance over toward the counter, and there's someone standing there, right next to Donovan. An elderly man. Elven. Full elven. Receding hairline going down behind, back behind his head. Still fairly regal looking, but, sunken in features. They quickly realize is a ghost, an apparition that is here. And you lock eyes for a moment, and you feel a hand on your shoulder, and the voice of Rosalind say, "Dearie, is there anything that I can help you with?"
No, I was just browsing. My father has a penchant for whimsy.
Well, how would you describe his humor? Kind of highbrow or potty?
Dry, very dry.
It's the very strict dichotomy you've drawn. I'm gonna have to say highbrow.
Eyebrow. Well, here's our bucket of fake eyebrows.
Okay, that's what we're starting with highbrow. I'm very intrigued to see what the potty section looks like.
Here's the bucket of literal poop. I'm just kidding. There's no poop in there.
Invisible poop.
Shit bucket. That's crazy.
It's just invisible shit.
And then you put it in bags and you anyway, yeah.
Yeah. You leave it on. You set the bags on fire. They come out and stamp it, and they can smell it, but they can't
see it. And then they have shit on their shoe for weeks because they don't know it's there. No, but she does lead you over to what seems to be a rack of magazines. And she pulls one down. She says, "Here, just give this a quick read through."
I speed read through it. What's it?
It never ends.
No.
It keeps going and 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 keeps going. And it's all just random stuff that doesn't exist. Like it's advertisements for like plays and books and like, certain celebrities, like political events that aren't real, and none of it like has any reality to it.
Incredible. How much?
15 gold.
Sure. I don't have spells to spend it on or anything. Yeah. Feeling. You know that feeling when you go in a store and you don't want to walk out without anything because you'll be like, oh, they think I'm stealing. Yeah, all Varian will shell over 15 gold for this.
So you get the Infinite People magazine.
Cool. I'm that's what I'm writing in my.
Go for it. I imagine this entire time you're still seeing invisibility, and so you keep glancing out the corner of your eye, seeing this ghost staring at you after you've made eye contact once.
Is it like it's clocked that I can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just like people's like dilated eyes kind of wide, just like glancing over every couple seconds as this transaction is going over. Like, fake eyebrows. Great. I saw there was an empty. Oh, invisible rings. Yes.
She says, well, if you need any more help, just let me know. I'm going to help this customer over here real fast.
Of course.
And Captain Ironbeard, before we get to you, I need to toilet cat once more.
Is People's Magazine possessive? Or is it People Magazine?
It's People Magazine. I don't think it's People's Magazine, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's people singular.
I can't tell you the last time I purchased a magazine.
I don't think I've ever purchased a magazine.
I have a Game Informer from like 2007.
Yeah. I used to have Game Informer subscriptions, but I'm pretty sure those ended like a couple years ago.
I
Game
remember
Informer
it very distinctly being like, Fable 2, the next upcoming thing.
Oh my god.
What were you saying, Travis?
And rock magazines was what I used to read as well. Back whenever rock was the most popular, or one of the most popular genres, and it wasn't just like the same 5 bands creating stuff.
It's making a comeback.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've had issues finding bands. Like whenever I look at like the big rock fests, I'm always like, oh, those are the same bands that have been there for the last like 5 to 10 years.
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of genres you like, but I mean, a rock band won Eurovision for the first time in like 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, which rock band?
I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, but it's like Mainskin. They're an Italian group.
Huh. Maybe overseas rock is doing really well. I'm getting kind of tired of like I don't know, like what is the like main rock, because I was looking at there was a concert that was happening in Charlotte every year for a while. And it just felt like the same lineup was happening every single year. It was kind of tiring.
That's fair.
But hopefully it's coming. I would like it if it were getting better.
I hope.
Okay. So, last but not least, Captain Ironbeard. Rosaline gets your attention across what seems to be it looks like a looks like food. Like it looks like you're at a kind of like bodega marketplace. It's all in this nice looking packaging.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not real food. There has to be something wrong with it. And the sign even says fake food, but it looks very real. And she calls to you from across the shelf and says, is there anything I can help you find?
Yes. I am a pirate. I need nautical theme jokes.
Jokes?
Jokes, pranks, anything.
I think I can do that. Let's see. She holds up like what seems to be a little stuffed animal. She said, here's a little fake parrot that you can record 5 phrases into. Here is a hook that when someone pulls on it, it just releases a bunch of thread and never ends. Here's a beard that never stops growing. Let's see. Oh, this is just an eye patch. Most kids just use it to try and pretend that they lost an eye, but it's just a regular eye patch.
Spike's mouth, or Captain Ironbeard's mouth, just his jaw just drops, and he goes, "I'll take all of it, all of it."
Oh, okay. Well, here's the hook and thread. Just attached to your wrist, and it's connected by a bit of string, and then when someone pulls on the hook, it's just endless string. Little stuffed parrot. What kind of color do you want? We have a bunch.
Ooh. I would like tropical colors. Bright, warm, vibrant. So, give me something like that. A good mix.
Of course. Some nice, good, like some oranges and reds and greens in there. And it's this just like a little stuffed parrot. It's not big at all. And as she's like handing it to you, she actually gives a little squeeze, and you hear a little kid's voice say, "Boo boo bee bee." She says, "Oh, sorry. Some kids got a hold of it. It's easy to change though." Let's see. So hook, parrot, regular iPad. I might have a magical one somewhere if you want me to search around, but
Well, of course.
okay. All right.
If you got the magical eye patch, I want it.
Oh my god. So she shifts through all of the different boxes and clothing that's nearby, trying to find one. She says, "Okay, this is more for the parents." So it's an eye patch, and you look at it, and it looks like a fairly normal eye patch. But to demonstrate, she puts it on, and she says, "It lets you control what the eye underneath looks like." And so she lifts it up, and it becomes this, like, you know, vertical reptilian-looking eye. She puts it back down, lifts it back up, and it's this, like, oversized, like, you know, like, hyper-realistic-looking eyeball. It's bigger than the other one. She lifts it back up, and it's just this endless void into her head.
That's super cool.
That is amazing. Incredible. Want it.
Okay, so eye patch, hook, little stuffed parrot. Don't you have a peg leg, or are you just limping? Don't remember.
I'm just slipping.
That's
He's
what
just
I
limping,
thought. She says, "Well, you have your leg, so it's okay. I think that might be about it, unless you want something crazy like a fake gold medallion, or maybe try and rustle up something that looks like a pirate's coat. Or a hat. Ooh, surely I have a pirate's hat somewhere."
I grab her arm, and just like at a wide-eyed stare, I say, "Any and every nautical theme item that you have, I want it. Do not hold back the booty."
I said all the bacon.
Do not hold back the booty.
Yes.
So it takes a couple of minutes, but she rustles you up. What is a fairly decent stand-in for captain's coat. It's more just kind of a vague duster, but like the cape or cloak of billowing, it constantly blows in a sea breeze. And then a hat. She procures you a pirate's hat. And she says, "This is another kind of joke gift for parent to child. But it's sort of an illusion. I'll demonstrate again." She puts it on her head, and it's like a normal sort of tricorn pirate hat. And she takes a couple steps back, And in your field of view, the hat stays the same size. And so it looks like it kind of like gets bigger and bigger as she steps back until it looks like she's just wearing this oversized hat. And then she takes it off and then puts it back on, and now it looks normal size. But then when she steps toward you, it stays the same, and it looks like it just gets really small on top of her head.
You are gonna look ridiculous. Like truly.
I'm gonna
Like a-
walk out. I'm gonna walk out the store an entirely different person. I'm like, who
I
is
don't-
that guy?
Shake
don't
my
know
hook!
Yeah. Oh my god, you're gonna act like a drunk. You're gonna basically be a drunk. Like I don't.
You mean I'm gonna be a pirate? Yeah.
Yeah, but this went
Yeah.
from like sad. Maybe you are like having PTSD to like, oh no, this is sad. Like, get this guy some real help.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You have a fake limp. You're gonna be asking people to pull your finger basically at all times.
I'm not gonna stand for the slander of my character.
Okay, so Captain Ironbeard, unless there's some other kind of accessory you want to locate.
No, that's all. I've been fully kidded. I am the best
Fully
pirate.
kidding. The new Captain Ironbeard skin just dropped.
Yes.
Oh,
How much
man.
is this gonna run me?
Let me crunch numbers here. There's actually a thing for this. Hold on. In the meantime, if there's anything anyone else wants to do.
Yeah, I would like to get Ithronel on camera saying, "Hey, I did the bad thing." Is that possible?
Yeah, admitting to just a litany of crimes. That'd be cool.
I know it's not much to ask, but I just
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to roleplay that out. We can just kind of.
Just say it happened.
Yeah.
So Captain Ironbeard. The most expensive things are the coat, the hook, and the parrot. The coat is 30. Hook and parrot are 20 each. And then the hat and eye patch are 5 each. So total 80.
All right, I can do that. I got my winnings from that,
That's all that's true.
Yeah.
What a way to spend it. I love it.
right?
So, by the time all this happens, if there's no other shopping people want to do, she returns to you, Donovan, up at the counter. Varian.
Mhm.
She, make an insight check, because she stopped short of this ghost. And you're not sure if that's on purpose or not.
Cool. I add more to this. Okay, Insight, 22.
He knows he's there and stops short on purpose. And Donovan, she does. I'm sorry that took a little bit longer than planned. 5 minutes. Go.
What would you say sets apart your business from all the others in the immediate area?
We mostly do it for fun, bring joy to people. Like many of the mage rights, they do it to make people's lives better and to make people's lives easier. We're almost the opposite, playing pranks and stuff like that. So we're really, really invested in just bringing people joy.
Oh, that's lovely. Would you say, what would you want, like, the legacy of your business to be?
answer. Well, hopefully I can keep it a family business. I haven't found the right suitor yet, but hopefully that'll be soon, and we can pass on this family business. Varian, make another insight check for me.
Nat 20 for a oh wow. This is because I rolled a d4 on insight checks as well, so this is a 32.
When she says, I haven't found the right suitor yet, the ghost breaks his gaze from you and looking around the shop to this, like, kind of grimace in her direction and then an eye roll.
Cool. I'd like to message the ghost.
It's love seeing Austin, like,
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever like messaged. I probably never messaged an ethereal being before, but I'm gonna try it, and I'll just send like kind of a very formal greeting, a very formal Elvish greeting in Elvish, ish, to this ghost, and just see if he responds.
We go to a toy shop for 5 minutes.
what is the, what... Do you say anything in particular, or just like a, hey?
Kind of if like a an Elvish equivalent of like greetings and salutations.
Okay. The ghost responds. In just this kind of slight whisper. Hello. In Elvish as well.
Did your mic change, Logan?
I don't think so.
There it is.
Oh, was it not coming through?
It was just kind of fuzzy, but
Gotcha.
it's good now.
It just says hello. I hope you're enjoying the shop.
I'll
Okay, now Carson, your mic was doing something weird.
shit.
There you go.
The
Sounds
ghost,
fine now.
the ghost doesn't want us to communicate.
Fair.
I'll just say, yes, it's quite the establishment. If I may ask, respectfully, who are you?
I'm a previous owner. Donovan, what's your next question? We'll
Did you
say
make any-
for 5 minutes, essentially a minute per question, so you'll have 3 more.
Do you have any the people always want to know if the fine business of Sharn support anyone politically? Do you make any political donations? Have any candidates you support?
No, all of my money from the shop just goes into making more trinkets and things to sell back out.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Sure.
19.
You see that she not lying, not necessarily misleading, but not necessarily because of just like oh, I don't care about politics. It's just I don't like politics, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Has your business been affected at all by the house killings or anything like that? I know a lot of people are afraid to go out and shop now because they're not sure. You heard what happened in the other district.
Yeah, in the upper city, it hasn't You know, it's funny. I sometimes go down to Lower City to get supplies and make trades sometimes, and I've noticed there's kind of a split about in the Middle City where Upper City is afraid and Lower City not as afraid. Um, just interesting. And so, Upper City, there has been a change in business. Mostly, well, not my business, but more people are trying to purchase self-defense for themselves, and you know.
Understandable. I guess last question. We like to do user polls about what people think about certain topics going on, and I don't know if you read the paper from today, but Ithronel Donovan is rising to some kind of political status. Do you have any thoughts on that? Did you read that article?
Oh, no, I didn't see the article. Rising to political status.
Oh, she got a blessing from the Boromar, the leader of the Boromar, to take their council's position.
Oh, that's surprising.
Insight check.
Is everyone else want? Whoever's in there, you can. Varian, you also make an insight check
Okay.
on the one that you can see.
Uh, 12.
28.
15.
I got a nice 11.
So there is a glint in her eye, a little bit of familiarity, a little bit of like shock, surprise, maybe excitement even, hearing about this. Whether that's because of Ithronel or Boromar specifically, unsure, but Varian, the ghost that you're speaking to, presents some visible excitement whenever that is mentioned.
Interesting.
Do you know Ithronel that you seemed a little excited about that? Off the record. This is just personal curiosity.
Oh, it's just, I was just surprised that, Miss Boromar did such a thing. I mean, she's basically an institution, a structure here in Sharn.
I agree. It's the times are a changing. I was gonna let Carson do more stuff with the ghost.
Yeah, in response to this, I was just continuing a message and just say like, forgive me, but do ethereal beings have an interest in the ongoing politics of Sharn?
Turns back to you. Bit of a curious look as well. When your resting place is a city like this, you kind of keep an ear on what happens.
Does that ear have political interests?
I like that you were building up to try and like
Yeah,
get something.
trying to be clever.
On occasion. But thank you for your business in my shop.
Of course. My name is Varian. Wait, what can I call you?
Kind of sighs. looks away, grinds his jaw a bit. Oh, that's not important. You can call me just the ghost of the Jolly Crown. That's what I am.
You don't wish to be known by your name anymore.
At least, not to you.
Fair enough. I suppose we did just meet.
Varian. Maybe the last thing before we've pushed out of the shop. Make a perception check for me.
All right. Perception. That is going to be a 23. 23, baby.
Uh-huh. You notice on this ghostly form, the robe that he's wearing, it's kind of deep cut so you can see a bit of his chest showing.
Mhm.
There's a marking on his chest. Not a tattoo. A dragon mark. You quickly look at the lines and streaks of the mark, trying to figure out which one it is, which, you know, if it's any of the house dragon marks, and you realize that it's not an aberrant dragon mark.
Interesting. Have I reached the end of my questions with this character?
Well, it lasts an hour, but at this point, once the interview is up, Rosalie starts saying, "All right, so shop's closing up soon. So if you want to make any other purchases, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, I need to start cleaning up for tomorrow."
I'll buy those glove rings.
Oh yes, and that was 25 gold.
Yeah, and I'll give her that, and I will leave.
Sure. While he's doing this last transaction, I will just take all this in and message the ghost one last time. And just be like, "Thank you for speaking with me. Perhaps we can talk again at a later date."
He just kind of gives a nod.
Before I finish up with her, I just want to go ahead and do detect thoughts. I just want to kind of read her mind and see what she's thinking on a surface level.
First, as she's like opening up her registers, like, I have not had this many sales. I've not had this many customers in here at one time. This is awesome. Ooh, this is about to be juicy. So it's a lot of like, oh, you know, these are really nice people. You know, it'd be really cool to get an article written about this shop. I mean, we've been here for so long. Nice that to be recognized. And she turns and essentially just grab just a little tote bag to put the gloves in, or like a little box to put the rings. And Varian,
Yes.
she passes through the ghost. Donovan, she thinks, sorry, honey. And then puts the little ring box on the counter, puts the little rings inside, gives them to you.
Thanks. You have a nice day. And I walk up to Varian and I'm like, let's go. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to do while we're still in the shop.
Captain Ironbeard busts out of a changing room.
As she passes through the ghost, or like right before then, as our conversation is ending, I will simultaneously turn around, drop see invisibility, and cast detect thoughts on the ghost.
You detect his thoughts, kind of pinpointing his down. And as she brushes through him, you hear him think, "That's all right, dear. Keep an eye on that tiny one over there, drag marked." And faintly, very faintly, you can hear her back.
Mhm.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 17.
Just kind of garbled as it comes back to you. He knows I'm here, but that's all right. I was a journalist. More kind of garbled noise.
Do I hear the other end of the conversation?
Make a perception check.
15.
You hear garbled noise from his end. She says, "Sorry, honey. There's a bit of garbled noise." Says, "Oh, he seemed fine enough. Kind of a nervous little guy." More garbled noise. Says, "I mean, he seemed all right. Curious questions, I think, but we'll see." And kind of ends there.
Cool. I will just look at Donovan and just say, I think we should make our exit. Thank you very much for the magazine. I'm sure my father will find it very amusing.
Waves back at you. And then you all regroup outside. Oleg, was there anything in particular you wanted to be doing?
I will just be playing with my cats.
Tentacles flopping around out of its
Yeah.
face.
Just be enjoying it. Keeping a lookout to see if anything is particularly worthy of being shot. Nothing too crazy.
Worthy of being shot.
Yeah. Maybe seeing if there's anything on the wall that says Ithronel was here.
You know, like maybe like a fully written confession.
Yeah, on the wall.
Yeah.
I was looking for the writing on the wall all along.
Well, you all make your way back in your own means to the Sky Coach about 8 o'clock at this point, and can debrief what you will.
Anything interesting you pick up on in there?
Ghost. There was Ghost.
Oh.
Cornelius was super right. I'm sure there were ghosts outside. There was a ghost in there. And Rosaline, she knew about it, and they were talking, and they called each other honey, which kind of threw me for a loop, if I'm being perfectly honest.
What did this ghost look like?
Uh,
Well, I'm flattered that you said I was right. I think we were talking about two very different things. But what did this ghost look like?
Elderly elven man, regal, but with sort of a sunken face and a receding hairline.
Did you notice anything? What did the apparition have? Like, was the apparition wearing anything? Anything other telling about that we might be able to dig into?
Did have a dragon mark.
Were you able to identify the kind?
I wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't for lack of trying. It was aberrant.
Aberrant. Okay.
This is all well and good.
Oh yeah, Oleg, I got you a present.
Oh my god.
Here.
You see Oleg start. You see Oleg have one tear that just rolls down.
Single tear roll down his
Yeah,
I feel like
hand you
everyone
the
has like.
rings. I hand you the rings and I show you how it works. Like, yeah, there's some nice like magical leather
This
gloves
is-
because you're always driving this around in your sky coach. There you go.
This is amazing. You have moved away from the kill list so far away.
He takes out a little notebook, crosses it out, and rewrites it on the other
And
side.
literally, in
People,
the notebook-
people, friend. It's like list of friends, list
Yeah.
of people to shoot.
So wait,
Yeah, it's
You-
all that's in the notebook.
you said you moved so. Is the kill list just the bottom portion of the list of everybody you know, ranked in order of how much you like them?
It's don't worry about it.
This
You
is
see, you see,
That
Okay,
sounds
so
like something that somebody who
he's
like,
having to
called
erase
out
like a
would
lot
do.
of the list. Yeah, just shift it up and down.
yeah.
As you ask that question, he places you where Donovan's name was. You should have asked about the kill list.
No, this is truly amazing. I greatly appreciate it. I was before that I was thinking, Captain, what the fuck are you wearing?
I lean back and you see my enormous pirate hat. And I don't say a word, but you hear my parrot go, pee pee poo poo.
Oh,
Oh
my god.
That's the pre-recorded voice. Hey, Logan said that was the pre-recorded voice. Damn, don't be mad at me, alright?
So wait, is it like an automaton?
No, it's just like a stuffed toy parrot with like you could just record a voice line in it.
It's like
but
the
yeah.
snowman from that video where like he presses the button and says "Hail Satan" and then it goes "Hail Satan" and then the whole
Yeah.
line goes "Hail Satan, Hail Satan."
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I just try so hard not to giggle. Under my beard is slowly growing even longer.
Well, this is nice. On a completely related note, how was therapy?
I lean forward, my hat shrinks, the bird goes pee pee poo poo one more time, and I don't respond, but I just give you a stern look.
Okay, well, this was nice. Okay,
I was like,
maybe I shouldn't have broken up. If you need help,
probably not.
if you want to talk, let me know. Okay. All right. Well, definitely this ghost thing. We can't tie up a ghost or shoot it in the knees. So, are we sure it's a ghost or like?
Pretty sure. She
Is there a
walked
spill
right through it.
that I don't know?
Was it not just like? Could it have just been an invisible person, or was it like definitely like a ghost?
Didn't you just say she passed right through it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure some sort of magic that can make you both invisible and intangible, but not many would be capable of it. And I don't imagine a joke shop owner would. He mentioned that he was a former owner, by the way.
Interesting.
Do we know anything else about these people that possibly would tell us what was up with them?
Well, just from context clues, it sounds like honey. It sounds like our ethereal friend might have owned the joke shop with his partner Rosaline, passed away, and through some sort of magic or unfinished business, he continues to reside there with her knowledge, overseeing their shared venture.
You just described him as an old man, sunken face. I'm having trouble recalling if you mentioned if you were able to identify like whether he was human, elf.
Elf.
And the woman we talked to, and the woman who is the proprietor of the shop now, was she elf or half elf? I'm
Half elf, I believe.
struggling to remember. That's Austin struggling to remember. Interesting.
Elven man, half elven woman.
Why would Ithronel be so interested in these two people?
How interested is she in these people exactly? Like, what is very? I don't.
Enough
She-
to hire Karvak to
Keep
protect them.
For a not so insignificant period of time, right? Wasn't it for a pretty substantial amount of time? It wasn't just like a week or anything.
It was like 2 or 3 years or something.
Yeah. Something about those people is important. Either that or something stashed in there that Ithronel needs.
That's also a possibility.
Maybe it is the people that are inside that she needs. Who
It
knows?
could be relatives. Hold some sort of importance in her life, or whatever her currently inscrutable plans are.
And Ithronel is full-blooded elf, correct?
Yes. Yes. Could we?
Relatives, but probably not parents, because the likelihood of having a full-blooded elf child with a full-blooded elf and a half-elf parent is not particularly likely.
Could we tell roughly how old Rosaline looked?
Muted.
You're muted.
Thanks. Compared to human years, maybe mid 20s, so mid 200s, late 100s for elf.
Okay.
Hmm.
So certainly not. If Ithronel is roughly 300 years old, then yeah, she would at most maybe a daughter. I don't know.
That's a possibility. We don't really know much about Ithronel's personal life outside of what she does.
Captain Ironbeard, when they talk about 2 or 3 years ago, and how substantial that is, you know, because you've effectively lived it, less than 4 years ago, so around 3 years ago, 3.5 to 4 years ago, that's whenever the Mourning happened and the Kingdom of Sire was destroyed. About 2 years ago was when the last war ended. So, at about the time Karvak started to keep security on these people, that was when the war was wrapping up.
Wait a minute.
So, I'm just trying to think through this. If Karvak started to keep watch on them after the morning, after the war ended, it's only been a few years ago, then
Did the ghost say how long ago he passed?
No, he didn't. Could I tell, like, from his visage, roughly how old he looked? Because I mean, I'm imagining ghosts look like they did at their death.
Anywhere between somewhere around 500 years old.
Okay. I don't know when he passed, but looked to be somewhere in the area of 500 years old.
It is possible if he's invisible as a ghost, then she can see him or something at all times or whatever.
I mean, she's certainly
It's-
aware of him.
And she could have some kind of illusion magic or possibly have some kind of anti-aging magic cream that keeps her looking young.
I'm sure there is a magical way to do that. probably would be expensive in
Possible.
advance.
That is, yeah. Or you know, we took Honey to mean partner. She could be a daughter or like a niece or something like that.
I feel like that's a weird way to refer to a family member, but
I don't know.
see what you
Some
get at.
families kiss each other on the lips. I don't like to think about it too much.
That's foul even for a pirate.
But let's.
Those people are fucking psychopaths.
Karvak was hired to watch the shop around the end of the last war. Is that what you? Because you made that correlation, Spike. That was about the same time. Why would Ithronel want Karvak to watch that shop? What's maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe it is correlated that the end of the last war happened. Wait,
Wasn't there something with the last war, an aberrant dragon mark? Wasn't there a whole thing? Wasn't there something with that?
What's the last war? It was an old war a long time ago called the War of the Mark.
But that was like how long ago?
Let me
pre
check.
last war. Well, what if where I'm going with this is maybe it has something to do with backlash for the morning. Maybe they're from Sire. Maybe they're from one of the other countries. Maybe they're not native to Breland. And maybe
Greenland was on the side, like the Confederation side that bombed Sire, right?
No one knows what
No
happened
one
to
knows how
cause
it
the
happened.
warning. It just did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
not even neither side was able to figure it out. There's a ton of working theories, but nobody knows for sure.
Horrible.
What if maybe it was fear for backlash because maybe they're not native to Breland? Maybe they thought people would even, maybe they thought people would have some kind of backlash against because of such a terrible event happening.
I've seen how Breland treats its immigrants.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do. I feel like that we need to kind of do something a little crazy. Like, not shoot people crazy, but like...
Breaking and entering crazy?
No, I'm thinking like, what if Ithronel just showed up to this shop and just we see how Rosalind reacts.
You want to send in a decoy?
Yeah.
I mean, you certainly have the magic to make that happen.
I feel like this is definitely not the exact time to do that.
No. But Donovan's got a point. Because there's a way we could pull this off. Follow me here, all right? I have the ability to cause people to trust me. If that makes sense. You kind of see where I'm going with that. Donovan, you can turn me... If you can turn me into an image of Ithronel, I can persuade her that I actually am.
Okay.
I
If you
can
tell me
do
what
that.
She knows.
Let me look at something real quick. But yeah, my thought process is this. We now know that Ithronel has some kind of attachment to these people. And if we go in there and they don't know who she is, maybe it's a one-sided thing.
Maybe they don't even know that she exists. Well, you know what I mean. They know she exists.
But
Yeah.
they definitely know something.
What if they just worship her in some way, you know? I mean, it's possible that she actually has, like, connection. Of course she has connection, but...
Maybe it's one of those things where it's family, but they don't know that she's family, but she knows
But
it.
they seem very enthusiastic about the whole ordeal, so... Wait. I don't know.
You can have.
It's definitely a possibility. I just don't know what the next step is. I think that the initial struck of saying like, "Hey, they definitely are talking, and they definitely know her and whatnot." I don't think that'll equal out to the same as saying like, "Oh, she knows." Like, what does this mean for us? What happens when we find that out, right?
We know that they have some kind of connection to Ithronel, and maybe they can tell us something or let slip something that will give us an edge.
That's certainly one option. This feels out of pocket for me to suggest this. They are closing up. We could gain entry.
And I turn one of my fingers into a lockpick and go, "We could."
I just pat you on the back. I'm so proud of you. That's my quartermaster.
All right. Let's do that. Peek
See if we
around,
can-
but
What
See
if
we
he's
find
still
any
there?
Physical evidence, and
Right.
if the ghost is there, Marion, you think you could see him again and try to talk to him?
We're breaking into his store. He knows his wife, right? Or whoever the honey is person. Like, what does that mean for us? Like, we're just gonna create a.
We're
negative
never gonna
reputation
find
or
out what it
something.
means unless we do something about it.
I mean, I could make a number of us invisible.
Wonder if
and,
ghosts
I mean,
can
we
see
might
us.
as well
can
do it
see-
now while Killian's not here before he stops us.
They can see each other being invisible. How are they? Like, won't they just immediately?
Maybe it's a specific connection.
Do I
If
know
she,
if ghosts can see invisibility?
Make an Arcana check.
Also, can we believe that if she can see ghosts, that she would be able to see us if we were also invisible?
It's a. My thought process is maybe it's a
Arcana.
specific connection.
23. What do I know? Give me
Almost like a
everything about
human-
invisibility.
Almost like a
Give me
human
fucking
familiar or
everything.
something.
So it's created by this god.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Nothing
What are
about
the
tricksters, I call
metaphysics of it?
metaphysics, oh boy.
I want to know.
let me see. Yeah. So ghosts do not have true sight. Do have
True smell.
they do not have
Well.
true smell.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Definitely
smell
gonna
everything.
implement that as a mechanic. When I start DMing.
Someone in the ethereal plane just took a shit.
From your knowledge, Varian, ghosts do sort of have magical senses, but that's sort of between seeing into the ghost realms, the ethereal plane, and vice versa, but not necessarily seeing invisible things. They sort of see stuff as other people see it.
Okay.
See into their own realm, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to see you when you're visible because you're not going into a different realm.
Yeah.
You're just
Let's see. how many
adjusting
people I can make invisible.
light.
I think I can do one extra person per upcast.
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I can make 4 of us invisible. With a 5th level cast of invisibility. I can do that for an hour. 4 of us. Anybody else have invisibility?
I can't say I do.
No.
Okay. Can I write up some spell scrolls of invisibility?
Question. Well, we don't all have to be in there too. There could be someone
that's
keeping
fair.
lookout.
That's
Keep
fair.
and watch, yes.
You know, it's like, you know, if need be, I can keep lookout.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even need to go as long as I was concentrating on the spell. It doesn't require line of sight because you're invisible, and that wouldn't make sense.
As long as you can see the creatures,
I
casting
think
a
that-
spell drop. Or...
See,
I think that you should go.
because you're the only person who has see invisibility. You're
I
the
have
only person
to.
who can... Oh, you do? Okay, never mind.
But no, what I was gonna say is,
in case we have to make an exit, Varian knows Dimension Door, and I know Dimension Door, so I can grab one of you, and Varian can grab the other. We could just out of there.
That's true.
I'm still.
I'll take it.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. I personally still am unsure about the whole, like, what happens when they find out it's like that we broke into their shop. It's slightly illegal, bordering on actually illegal.
Oh, now we're worried about. Now we're worried about the law, are we?
No,
Everybody?
my,
If
no
it's
way.
if it's not killing somebody, then I do not care for it.
Oh,
Is that
Oleg
what
is
the
here to
law
be the
is like?
voice of reason. What's happening?
I'm
It's
just saying I don't know if we're gonna find out something that is.
if it's not a capital offense, it's not worth committing.
If it
Is
does
that what I'm
not,
hearing?
it does not end the suffering of other people through the killing of somebody.
Wait, is the suffering the fact that you already shot them in the knees?
I have not killed somebody who has not deserved it.
Listen, let's.
That's
We don't have time to unpack all that. But listen, we don't. Yeah, we don't know that we're gonna find out anything. But also, like, that's investigative work. You don't know anything.
Investigative
it out.
work does not have to be breaking. I mean, you can certainly do whatever you want. I'll be able to hear.
I'm not gonna
playing with
break
my cats.
anything.
Sure. Lock picking into somebody's home is
We don't even need a lockpick.
okay. Well, all right. You do it. I believe in you. This time, however, I don't know if my bail money is gonna be good, and I'm gonna. If you get locked up, I'm gonna kill Ithronel. It's gonna be easy.
You know what? I'll take it, man.
It sounds
I mean,
like
if
a
we
solid
didn't
plan.
want to, if we didn't want to break in, I could literally just make us. I could just make all of us look like Ithronel and like bodyguards from the Boromar clan. We can just walk in and ask questions.
Well, okay, is this one of those shops? Can we tell from the outside where like the owner has an apartment on the second story?
Yes.
Okay.
I say like it's almost the end of the day. Let's just instead of trying to break in and be sneaking chance getting arrested. I just say like we could make us look like Ithronel and people, or just walk in and just be like, "Hello."
If she doesn't react, then just another customer trying to slip in right at closing time.
She's going to react. She reacted to you even mentioning the name Ithronel. No matter
Sorry,
what,
I was talking to a ghost. I didn't quite.
she,
Bypass that thought.
I think the problem I have is that she's going to be very surprised, very enthusiastic. We know this. It is whether or not she says something funny. I think that is something definitely that we can do. That's fine.
I listen. I just feel like we're spinning our wheels, and we have a chance to have a step ahead for once.
For sure.
So we should do that while we're waiting on Carvax to get back to us with the other information that we requested she get.
I find myself agreeing with Donovan on this one.
That's fine.
So let's just do something. If it doesn't work, we run away.
I'm gonna split the party. I'm gonna
Let's just-
go find out. It was Ithronel still doing the party thing. Did we know if that party is still happening tonight? Because I'm still somewhat injured from that fight that we had 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, Oleg's been bleeding this whole time.
There's blood pools on the floor of the shop
Yeah.
where he was standing.
Actually, as you say that, he goes, and uses cure wounds on himself.
Logistical.
I heal 7 health.
You-
Wow, what great health.
Logistical question. Does anybody happen to have the actor feat? Question mark.
No, but what my whole plan was going to be I use seeming on all of us, make us turn into Boromar people, and I can turn one of you into Ithronel, but we'll say Ithronel lost her voice because she's been talking to people all day, and we'll just whisper and communicate that way, and I'll do the talking, or someone else could do the talking for her, so we don't have to worry about sounding like Ithronel.
I mean, by the stipulations of alter self, It like changes your physical makeup, like your vocal cords. Would you sound like the person?
Yeah, I'd allow that.
Okay, I'll propose that.
Okay.
Do you think that you could keep up that act?
Wait, me?
It's
Anybody
alter
else?
self.
Yeah, I'm aware. Does nobody else have the alter self spell?
Nope.
No.
Fuck me.
Sure.
If you'd rather not do it, we can just do like I said, and someone can just speak for you.
Sure.
Can you do like? Is there not something that you can do like alter self, but you?
I mean,
No, that'd be alter friend. That's a different spell.
I could
Is
drop
it-
the spell
is it-
stroke, but that'd take me a little while.
I think it's fine. I don't know if we can do that. Your plan. I believe in you.
I don't think it's a good idea for you to go to that party by yourself. This won't take that long. We can just do that and then bounce and go to the party.
Wait, okay, so I'm confused about the timeline. Is it not the same day as party, Logan?
It
because
is,
we
but
had the
it's,
paper.
It's like 6 hours later,
Okay.
and you don't know
Party's
if it's
probably not
still
happening.
going on or not.
Probably not still happening. Okay, I believe in you. I'll just stay around. I'll go over to my car and fiddle with my pistol. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so are we gonna, Captain Ironbeard? Do you want to stay out and keep an eye out, or do you want to come with us?
I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. So, are we doing this?
Doing this.
Seeming?
And I've got a backup plan. As usual.
Okay.
I'm really hoping this lady doesn't have true sight. If she does, we're fucked, but we'll figure that out, I guess.
Like I said, got a backup plan.
So
Wait,
Or two.
Who's going in?
I assume the three of us.
So three of you. You me, Donovan.
Okay, should I go as a bodyguard or something?
I figure you can go as Ithronel. That's not too weird for you, and we can do the voice thing. Where
You could
Yeah,
use all
sure.
this stuff to alter your voice chords. Voice
It's
chords?
been weird. Fucking weird enough already. Might as well compound on it.
Come on, everything we've seen, and this is the weirdest thing you've done?
Oh, and seeming is not concentration, so
Cool.
Now
I
you've
will
seen visibility.
alter self into Ithronel Adana.
or the voice at least.
Guys, why not? Why not?
And I will cast seeming and make myself look like, I don't know, like a politician's aide, like that person you see with the glasses and a clipboard that goes like, Miss Ithronel is very busy.
The
Please do not
campaign
inconvenience her."
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will turn Cornelius into like a bodyguard of a similar body makeup, similar height,
Does it say I do
but just a
contract,
different
so-
looking face.
Okay, and then Varian is going to be Ithronel.
And, yeah.
He's gonna alter
Mhm.
self.
And I will use Sammy to turn him into Ithronel, look like Ithronel.
I used alter self. It's fine.
But alter self is like, it's not an illusion. It's like a.
Yeah.
I don't
That
think
way
alter
it-
self works that way.
What do you mean?
I don't think it like. I think you can like use it to like change like
You can assume a
give yourself
different
gills or
form.
something. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
think it worked that
You
way.
can change your
That's cool.
appearance, inclling your height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice,
Sound of
hair
your
length,
voice.
Crazy.
coloration, distinguishing characteristics, if any.
That's
and,
crazy.
Other races, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You literally just become someone else.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can give yourself like gills or
Gills.
bone claws.
You remember when you did the
Dang.
porcupine spikes? That was
Yeah,
good.
that
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That
I
was a good
wasn't
one.
thinking it was.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
fucking
because it's not an
spell.
illusion. You just actually like
You
change your
Yeah.
form. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why if they go in to hug you, they're not like, you're not
You're
a
not-
lady.
Yep.
You're not a tall elven lady.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then you do that.
So any final things before people approach the front door? There's still a single light illuminating the inside. But if no one else has something else to prepare, that's where we'll stop for tonight, because we already just hit the 3-hour mark.
Cool.
And we'll see what is in store beyond the door.
There's no way this can go wrong.
And it's
Yep.
okay, because I have like 3 backup plans in my spell list.
And Oleg has one backup plan.
A gun.
Got a gun.
Is that the name of your gun?
The gun.
Oh, a backup plan?
Yeah.
That was
Or
Monty's
the gun. I feel like
That was
both
the
are
gun.
accurate.
Yeah, that was the name
Name
of
of
my
Monty's
one of my
gun.
like when I had a gunslinger. That was the name of my gun. Was the backup
Backup
plan?
It's a good name.
Time to break out the backup.
That's a good one.
Love it.
No, I don't feel like Oleg names his guns.
It would be funny. if it
Hello,
was
this is my
the
gun, Sharon.
Number 1, number 2.
It's like that gun from Fallout, or from New Vegas. That's called That Gun because
Oh, yeah,
it's
That
the one.
Gun.
It's because it's the 223 pistol that's modeled after the pistol from Blade Runner,
that gun.
and it's
really?
just known as That Gun. Hey, it's That Gun.
Yeah, that gun. So, thank you guys. I've given you a 1,000-piece, imaginary 1,000-piece puzzle
Thanks.
that you're having to put together.
Mentally decode.
But you're getting there. I'm loving it. I love it. I love saying a piece and then seeing like a few of you go like, oh, like crunch up your eyebrows, and I'm like, yeah, little
Gotta think.
victories. But it will come to a close sometime soon. This goddamn journalist. This Wednesday, doing some Let's Make stuff. Hopefully, because it'll be 96 degrees here, and so hopefully the heat wave won't run me out of my office anymore. But we will see. We're gonna be doing some magical items, which I'm pumped for. I haven't done that on stream yet, and I love making some magical items from scratch. I've been on a magical item kick lately. You can find some fun things on my Patreon and some less fun things on my Patreon. What else? Friday, Shadows over Driftchapel had an amazing cliffhanger. We've had a lot of amazing cliffhangers recently. So tune in to figure out what my players all agreed described as a Dark Souls boss. Why they know who one of the characters is.
Damn it. I wish I was gonna work on Fridays because now I want to know. You said Dark Souls
Pick up-
boss, and I got
Pick
excited.
up those VODs, baby.
Yeah.
I work like literally every day, but today.
I'll rip the audio from it and make it into a podcast for you.
There you go.
But yeah, so tune in to figure out what that's all about, and what they're gonna do about it. It's gonna be so much fun. And then of course, next week we'll be back. Right? Let me check my calendar.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
I'm just making sure because there's been some hinky stuff on my calendar recently, and I need to double check, make sure. Yeah. So now I can actually say it for real. We'll be right back here. Same Sharn time, same Sharn place.
Did you
Fitness
spit in your
gratification.
hands? That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's what you do.
We're in a pandemic.
Yeah, but he's not. What do you mean? His hands aren't gonna get COVID.
Sharn.
He's Instagram patient test.
Sharn.
Instagram.